Hey, it's LaShanda Henry here, and you're listening to Daily Direction. This is a space for me to give you a little dose of fire and focus so I can help you do what it is that you feel like you need to do to actualize your vision, simplify the process, and amplify your success. Today, I want to talk about this interesting concept of manifesting money, whether it be manifesting more money, manifesting money, period, manifesting your money that you feel has been divinely set out for you. How do you do that? How do I actually go about doing that? Because the reality is I'm sharing my experiences to help you point yourself in the right direction. So, I want to talk about this conversation of manifesting your money. Even when you feel like nothing is working, like everything is stalled, like everything screws up just when you feel like you're about to take that next leap, right? Um, I believe that I am an eternal optimist, which is interesting because, people will say, LaShanda, oh my God, I love your smile. You've got such a beautiful smile. And I guess it's beautiful because it's rare. I mean, I pretty much have a serious face on, sometimes it looks like the mean mug a lot. Um, and I say that because, it just, being in this space of understanding what it's like to manifest your money, you've got to have this kind of energy around you that helps you to, I don't want to say alleviate or destroy, but helps you to reduce the negative so that you can bring in that smile and increase the positive, right? Right. Kind of helps you turn down the noise on everything that tells you it's not going to work and that money's not going to come in and you're still going to be like overwhelmed and knees and eyeballs in debt, right? You kind of have to turn down that volume so you can raise up that positive voice that's like, yes, that money is going to come in. Um, for me, this concept of manifesting money also reminds me of, the law of attraction, the secret, how can you bring and how can you attract money to you? And I'm going to be honest with you. I believe that for me, it starts with a phrase that my mother taught me when I was very younger. You can laugh at me. You can laugh. It's okay. A phrase that my mother taught me when I was very young, and I keep to this day, which is, as a spiritual person, we believe that God helps those who help themselves, right? Faith without works is dead. And I am very much a worker bee. So I want you to write this phrase down. And then I'm going to break it down for you because that's what I like to do inside the daily direction, break it all the way down. It is as follows, okay? You want to get clear, prepare, and share. Get clear, prepare, and share. So again, I'm a worker bee. When it comes to manifesting money, I tend to think to myself, okay, so what am I going to do to bring this money in? Right? That's the eternal optimist in me. Even when I might have the mean mug on, I'm always like smiling my heart. I am going to do something to bring in this money and to manifest this money, and to do what I need to do to make myself happy and not just be in survival but thrive mode. Right? Bless God, every year that I've been in business for myself, and I've been working at home for over a decade. I have been in business for going on 18 years now. Quickly getting to that 18-year mark. Every year I've been able to sustain and increase. Even when, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not going to go on any other tangents. This is the last one, I promise. Even when people say things like, I don't know how you do it. Like, I don't know how you charge what you charge, and you have a son, and, you have your hubby, and you have a home. How do you do that? Like, I need to charge like 4 and 5 figures for one thing, and you're charging like $5 for one thing. How do you maintain? And I believe it's because of the magic that I've put into this concept of manifesting money, and in a space where I know I am provided for because God helps those who help themselves. So get clear, prepare, and share. What does that mean for me? Essentially, when I'm in a position to sit down and say, okay, look, it's time to make that dollar, right? It's time to bring it in. What do you need to do? First thing I do is I get clear, right? So you want money to come in, right? I'm not a person who believes in I'm listen, I've got a whole lot of people in my life who love the lottery. I'm not one of them. I don't go get them tickets. That's just kind of not my way. I kind of sit down and figure out what can I produce with these hands, and what can I produce with this mind, to create something magical for myself, and something that is worthwhile to people who find value in my business. What can I do to create that? So I sit down and I get clear. And I can give you an example of that. At the very beginning of this particular year that we are in now, I said, you know what? Where do I want this money to come in? This next set of yay money, right? And I said, okay, you know what? I'm a web designer, so let's bring in that dollar. Let's get in some new web clients. Start the year off right. And that's kind of what my first step was, to get clear on where is this money coming from. So ask yourself that. If you find yourself in a space where you're foggy, you don't know where the money is coming from, or you're dependent upon other people to bring that money in, dependency, frustration, or kind of wishing and waiting, these are all things that hold down your ability to consistently manifest money. I'm very self-independent, self-motivated, eternal optimist. Yes, I know that things don't always work out, because trust me, they don't. And I'm going to tell you about that. Even with this particular example, what didn't work for me. But the reality is, regardless of what doesn't work, I keep on going, and I keep turning down the volume of, oh, it's not going to work. I turn that stuff down, because I need to put myself in a position where I am optimistic and I am moving towards the money. I'm moving towards the purpose, the passion, the profit, right? And that's important to say, because I want you to understand, and I want to trigger in you, if you are saying negative things, if you're waiting for people, if you're looking for that lotto to come through, or that person that you say, hey, can you lend me? So if you are in a space where you're dependent upon all these other things, and you're not quite in a space where you can depend on yourself to manifest your money, those things are actually blocking you. They're hurting you. And I want to show you that me being able to disconnect myself from waiting or wishing or wanting other people to help me in this process is one of the reasons why this process works so phenomenally for me. Okay. So first thing I do is I get clear. Where is this money coming from? Right. And then I focus on, to be honest with you, preparation, right? So, okay, so I want this money to come in. Specifically, I'm going to work on getting some more web clients, okay? Because that was the example I gave you at the beginning of the year. I want to work on getting some more web clients, okay? So prepare. How are you going to do that, LaShanda? How are you going to bring in more web clients? I said, okay, you know what? There are a couple of things that need to happen. As a service professional, raise your hand if you ever feel like you do the bomb.com job for everybody else, and then you cannot seem to find the time to do it for yourself. As a web designer, I'm ashamed to say at the beginning of the year, my web design page was so dated because I was so busy working on making magic and amazing for other people, that my web design page itself was totally dated and well overdue for an update. So I updated my page. I updated my packages. I've got about 5 main packages. And I wanted to make sure that they were really highlighted and at the front of the page. And also my portfolio. I mean, man, I was knocking out websites left and right, and a lot of my new stuff wasn't in my portfolio. So even my portfolio looked dated, right? So number one, identify, get clear. Where is this money coming from with respect to your hands, your mind, your actions? Number two, prepare. How are you going to bring the money in? What's your magic master plan, right? And for me, my master plan was, hey, listen, you probably, outside of proactively promoting your stuff, you probably are losing opportunities because you've got to fix what's broken in your site, and you haven't done that. You can't bring people to something that's not working. That's something that I teach clients all the time. If your page isn't working the way you need it to, you've got to make that bad boy better, right? So I did that. I prepared, worked on the web page. I worked on the packages. I worked on this awesome portfolio with over 30 amazing projects. And I'm like, man, I need to put some new ones in there because it's been a few months since the year has started, right? But I worked on all of this stuff. And then I got excited. I started going on my live streams and I started sending out emails. And I was like, yeah, the new website is there. Get with my web design services, webdesign.sistersense.com. I prepared, right? I was in preparation mode. And here's the deal. Nothing happened. No one signed up. 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, or week 3, however, however proper grammar I should say it. I should say week 1, week 2, week 3, right? Point is, nobody signed up, and I was like, what? My site looks off the chain. Are you kidding me? I was a little disappointed, but again, I'm an internal optimist. And if you find yourself to be an eternal pessimist, you got to turn some of that around. I'm going to be honest with you. Some of this is just me being an eternal optimist because trust me, things don't go the way I want them to go a lot of the time. You probably would know that based on the way I move and operate. But because of the way I move and operate, I'm able to manifest positive, even in spite of the negative, because that's just life. I can't say, oh, woe is me, right? I can't afford to do that, right? The bills needs to be paid. The baby needs to be fed. So I have to be an eternal optimist, whether I want to or not. And I have to turn down the volume on the negativity and keep moving forward because guess what? Even though the first couple of weeks things didn't pan out, even though the first quarter was okay, but not great, it's meh, it was kind of meh, right? I recently worked on the money map, which is a system, and I talk about how I bring money into my business. In that system, I share how I was able to generate in the second quarter $30,000 in 90 days. And in that, a lot of that was from web work that came in the second quarter because I prepared. And it didn't necessarily work out the first day or the first week or even up to that third week, right? The first quarter was I, as we used to say back in the 90s in Brooklyn. It was I, but it wasn't hot. It wasn't what I anticipated. But the reality is sometimes things don't work out when we want them to. They work out, and I'm going to say this as a spiritual person, when God knows they should. There's a bigger vision. I love this. There's a graphic that I've seen online, and I wish I could kind of imprint it into your mind because I can see it right now. And it's a picture of a little girl, and she's got a teddy, and she's holding that teddy bear really, really tight. And then the Lord is in front of her, and he's like holding his hand out for her to give him the teddy bear. And she's like, no, I love it so much. And behind his back is this huge bear. And if she would only let go of this little one that she thinks is her whole world, she would get this huge gift that he has, but she can't see it because it's behind his back. And that is how I run my life. I release those little teddy bears and I release those fears and I eternally grab on to the faith that even though I cannot see it, I know he has greater for me. If only I let go of the things that I am afraid of or the things that I'm like, if I let go of this thing that I know is so certain and I'm going to walk out into uncertainty, I need to pay the bills. I need to feed the baby. I need to maintain. I'm afraid, but I manifest money. You manifest money when you become that worker bee, when you live in that space of faith, when you become an eternal optimist. And I'm not trying to be wow, wow, she, woo, woo with you. I'm telling you the energy. I'm telling you the vibration. I'm telling you the work, not just I sit here and I just open my hands and I say, Lord, give me money. Lord, provide for me. And he provides. I work at this, boo. I work at this. I work at creating amazing. So between that amazing and the faith and the works that he provides, the doors that he opens for me. And again, I do not mean to offend if you feel like this is, wow, this is out of my realm, LaShanda. You talking about stuff that doesn't necessarily connect with me. I'm not that kind of a spiritual person. This is my truth. Okay, this is the only truth that I can share. This is how I do things. And if it connects with you, that's a powerful thing. If it doesn't connect with you, then I want you to find your one, your someone, your people who they connect with you, and create the kind of conversations that motivate you to create amazing in your life. If it's not me, it's okay, but I just want you to know that it is okay. Okay? It's okay if it's not me. So, yeah, I get in this space where I get clear about what exactly am I going to do to manifest this money. And then I prepare. I say, okay, well, if this is right now the web thing, if I'm going to bring in some more clients, what am I going to do to make this better for myself? Right. And in preparation, I then begin to share and share and share. My web services are over at webdesign.sistersense.com. And so, I was doing live streams and I was sending out emails. And number one, you can just say to people, okay, hey, you need a website? Go here, right? But I find that I have all these other conversations, right? And I share and I say, you know what? Listen, if you are somebody who knows you need to get your stuff together, if you're a service professional and you need to get your stuff together, but you can't find the time, trust and believe I identify. I just fixed my website, right? So connecting with people on a real level. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I can do stuff for other people that I can't do for myself. People go, yes, that's me, LaShanda. How do you counteract that? Okay, well, you know what? I forced myself to make the time. I didn't wait for the time. I made the time to fix my website. So it's a teaching moment, but it's also in that process of me teaching busy service professionals how to prioritize themselves. I'm like, hey, by the way, I am a web designer. Go check me out, right? Or me saying, oh my goodness, I'm so excited and proud because I updated it and here's my new portfolio. Did you see it? Oh my God, look at the new portfolio. Look at the website that I created for all of these amazing entrepreneurs. It's an opportunity for me to share an update, right? Because sometimes you're like, okay, well, I can't post or I can't send out an email because I have that product and it's not done yet, or I'm not ready to launch. I'm not ready to launch. Just tell folks about your day. Just give them an update. Just let them know you're excited, because excitement is just as infectious. And to me, in this world, needs to be even more infectious than all the negativity and the noise. Right? So in doing this and consistently sharing, even when it isn't necessarily me directly selling, just proactively sharing what I'm doing, or in a moment of teaching people how to do what I do, or, do what they do better, I'm able to say, hey, by the way, this is one thing that I've been able to work on as a side note. It's a soft sell. And it just kind of keeps people in the back of their mind knowing, hey, LaShanda is a web designer. Hey, LaShanda does do like a lot of cool stuff. And I'm going to tell you again, I hope you get an opportunity to access the money map. In there, my 30K in 90 day. It's a 1 hour training. I think I don't know. I think it's one of the best I've created. I always say that with my new stuff, but it's like seasoning, right? It gets better the longer you put it in there, right? In that, I can tell you a part of that was from the web work that came in the second quarter that wasn't there in the first quarter, but because I prepared, because I shared, the portfolio. Oh my God. People went, oh, I know that person. You did that person's website. I love that website. I need you to do this one for me. The portfolio helped. The questions helped when people would go to the website and say, oh, I see that you've got these packages. I'm not sure which one to get for myself. Their questions helped me really optimize my FAQ and make the page even better, right? More feedback, better page, right? Better opportunities to close more deals. The portfolio helped. The new site helped. The new questions helped. I learned out of this preparation, right? I believe that at the end of the day, it's never a win or lose situation. It's a win or learn. And those first initial days and weeks where, maybe one or two people were like, oh, that's cool, I'm interested. And then it fell off and it didn't work out. Even in spite of those things, eventually it worked out because the preparation was there. Like that law of attraction, I opened up the door for opportunity. You got to do that sometimes, even when you feel like it's not working, even when you're like, oh my God, LaShanda, okay, great example. Right now I am in the midst of sharing daily direction with you, I'm also working with my mastermind. And the next thing we're going to be working on is a video challenge and creating anywhere between 30 to 90 videos. My mastermind, I love my ladies. And I'm excited. I don't know if you're going to be doing that with me, but, or if you've done it with me, it's like, when are you going to listen to this audio? Or I don't know. Point being, creating anywhere between 30 to 90 videos in a finite period of time. Usually for me, it takes me about either 72 hours, a week or two, depending upon my schedule, but knocking out a large chunk of videos and then strategically scheduling that out. That's what I'm going to be teaching the mastermind ladies how to do that. That is how I manifest money. Because when I put those videos out there and they're working for me while I'm working on other things, it doesn't necessarily pan out today or even tomorrow, but it creates a chain of events that I cannot see. Like that little girl with the teddy bear, and the Lord is like, give me that teddy bear. I've got so much. If you just give me that little bear, boo, I've got so much more behind my back for you. I know you can't see it, but it's there. Very recently, I was asked to participate in a virtual conference, and so excited about that because it's an opportunity for me to partner with new amazing women and connect with women who don't even know me, but now they know me because they're watching this video of me talking about how I do video, right? Which is why I love video marketing. It's just one of the most awesome things. It's one of the things I love to teach. It's out of that opportunity became because the young lady who came and invited me to speak for her virtual event said, I watched your video on YouTube and you talked to mompreneurs about working and being happy, and I was laughing and I just loved you and I knew you had to be one of my speakers. When I created that video, and that video, by the way, that she is referencing, I want to say is maybe about 2 to 3 years old. Did I know? No, not at all. But I did it. It opened the door to manifest money into my business, right? I never thought that, and I'm going to be honest with you, I remember my first job, I didn't even make $30,000 for the year in my first job. So for me to sit down and create a money map and teach people and say, listen, I brought 30,000 in revenue into my business, majority sales, and then also through other forms of income, I brought that into my business in 90 days in the second quarter. What? I couldn't even bring in 30K in my first job. What are you talking about? This is weird. But that's manifesting money. That's what you do when you put the right positivity and energy out there. Today might not be your year. This year might not be your year, but you have to prepare. You got to get clear, prepare, and share, and you will open the opportunities. You will manifest your money in the process. And I say that because I want to make this clear because, man, I got to breathe when I say this. I work with entrepreneurs, and sometimes the frustration that they get comes from, well, you know what, LaShanda, I tried what you said, and it didn't work today. It didn't work this week. It didn't work this month. Hell, sometimes it doesn't work that way. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. But it does work. It does work. You have to give yourself the space to try and fail and wait while you work on your greatness. Wait for the opportunities to present themselves, and you know that you've done everything. I want you to go on YouTube, watch this video, Oprah, Surrender. If you've never watched it, watch it. If you watched it before, watch it again. Because every time I watch it, by the way, every year I have a conference here in North Carolina for the ladies in my circle, my Power Circle conference. I share that video every year, Surrender. Oprah talks about how The Color Purple changed her life. When she read that book, she knew she needed to be in that movie, and she was rejected. She did not get the role. She said, I need to be Harpo. Are you kidding me? That's Harpo backwards. That's Oprah, right? She's like, I need to be in this movie. When you look at the word Harpo, she said, that backwards, that's Oprah. That's me. This is my vision. Didn't get it. Was devastated. She was devastated. She said, you know what? I was angry, I was jealous, I was all these things that I didn't get what I thought I was supposed to get. And I was like, why, Lord? Why? Why would you put this in my mind? Why would you put this opportunity? Why would you present it to me if that was not going to be for me? And she remembered at that moment she got on her knees and she started to sing, I surrender, Lord. And she started to sing, I surrender. When you've done all that you can do, surrender. She received a call that she was going to be Celie. She was going to be in that movie. That movie was her destiny. Forgive me, I'm giving you all the wrong names. I said she was going to be Harpo. She was going to be Silly. I'm giving you all the wrong names. You know who she was. I'm just so excited to share this story. I'm messing up all the names, right? But she received the call that she was getting the role, right? And when she got the role, that changed her life. She said the color purple opened up so many amazing doors. I could not have known how much my life was going to change because of that movie. And it didn't work, by the way. Eventually, the first things that she did, and she pushed, and it didn't work, and she was even rejected. She didn't even get the role. And then I think she said Spielberg called her and was like, okay, you need to come. You got it. But at first she was rejected. I'm telling you, I did this whole thing. I set up my portfolio, my package, my website. I was like, all I need to do is make these good changes. And, it's the web. It's real time. It's instant. It's going to work, right? Guess what? Sometimes things don't just instantly work. Sometimes you got to put the seasoning in. Sometimes you have to just prepare and keep on preparing and keep on doing them videos and keep on sending out them emails and keep on tweeting and keep on live streaming, even when you got 2-3 people on it. Listen, I know I tell a lot of stories, but it's the stories that bring you to my glory. Not just my glory, but your glory. And I want to make sure that you're conscious of the fact that I have to share these stories with you, because sometimes just the upfront glory is all that folks see. Oh my God, this person has like 50,000, 10 million followers. Oh my God. Oh, they see all this glory and they don't know the glory behind the glory. And they don't know how many fails it took to get to that point. I wasn't bringing in the money that I wanted to bring in. I didn't close any of the web gigs I wanted to that first day, that first week. It took a couple of weeks, but then I brought in more money in a quarter than I used to bring in 1 year. Are you kidding me? What? You have to prepare. You have to prepare. There's this beautiful picture of Obama sitting, and he's got his feet up. President Barack Obama, he's got his feet up. I always have that picture imprinted in my mind because you can see the holes in his shoes. I remember when he began his first campaign and folks were like, who's that? Who's that black dude? Who's that? Obama who? Obama what? Right? And I read that, looking at this picture, and I remember reading that, he would go to different places to speak, and there would be like 3 people there and some bad coffee, and he would be exhausted. He would still speak. You look at this amazing man who's changed the world, who's changed history, who's changed black history, who's changed. You look at this person, but I want you to visualize shoes with holes in it. Going to an event with 2 people, like, should I be doing this? Folks don't even know me. Folks don't even get me. Folks got my same skin color looking at me like, he ain't it. He ain't down for us. Folks reject me. I'm sitting here talking to 3 people. I want to be in my bed right now. Think about those holy shoes. Because the reality is, he wouldn't be the man he is today if he wasn't the man who walked so much in them shoes, he put holes in them shoes. I remember looking at pictures of, man, it makes me tear up. I didn't even think I would tear up at this moment, but pictures of Sasha and Malaya when they were younger, and they had these thick stockings on and little bows in their hair. And that just kind of made me laugh and feel like this is my president. I mean, I would remember just, me being in 80s and little clips and bows and stockings in my hair. I'm like, half the time I don't even see little girls in stockings anymore. I'm like, this is so old school. But that immediate connection, that this is a person who, if he can work so hard, if he can come out and he can do, and I think about the things that I came out through and looking at how I looked like his little girls when I was a little girl, and that identification, I can do this. even when I've got holy shoes, whether they be literally or virtually speaking, holes in the shoes, I can get clear, I can prepare, I can share. Manifesting your money. This was way longer than I anticipated it to be. I never know how long these daily direction sessions are going to be, but it's audio, so you can kind of sit back, relax, and listen as you do other things. Um, but this is what works for me. If you go, how exactly do you do this? How do you sell stuff at these? And keep in mind, I'm going to continue to share with you. Hopefully you are getting daily direction from me. You get these little doses from me every day. Whether you listen to everyone or not, it's up to you. But, the point being is that I want to send this to you for as long as I can. And hopefully you get that. Hopefully you're signed up for daily direction. Because again, I don't even know how you're listening to this right now, right? Or maybe somebody sent it to you, which they shouldn't, because it's only for people who subscribe to it. But no, if you're meant to listen to it today, don't let me be silly. You're meant to listen to it today, whether it be directly through me or because somebody felt compelled to share it with you. I gotta be silly, right? Because sometimes I can be real heavy, and you gotta balance that out. But I want you to get I was about to say prepare and clear, and player, my new word, player, came out. Sometimes I can be a little tongue-tied. Forgive me. I'm human, man. You have to get clear when it comes to manifesting your money, manifesting more money. Get clear about what you are going to do, how you're going to be a worker bee, so that you can get clear about where you're going to bring that money in. And then prepare. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to go from this is where I want the money to come from to this is what I'm going to do to make that happen? How are you going to prepare? You got to prepare. And you share. You share. You have to get into a space where you get comfortable talking. And I gave you a few recommendations today. I actually have my Simplify, Serve, and Sell challenge. I don't know if you've ever seen the challenge. Simplify, Serve, and Sell. It's a 28-day challenge to help entrepreneurs, even entrepreneurs who hate to sell, get better at sales using my simple, SIMPLE system. sistasense.com/simple. SIMPLE. That's where you'll find the challenge. sistasense.com/simple. But inside of the Simplify, Serve, and Sell challenge, I talk about the different things that I do to share and how you don't have to be salesy, and you just need to create the kind of conversations that are compelling and resonate with your audience, that connect with your audience, and get them excited about working with you and what you're doing. And if you can do that in a natural way in your own voice and be authentic and genuine and transparent and all those amazing things, you don't ever have to feel like you have to convince people or beg people to, buy into what it is that you're trying to sell. You can do that in compelling ways, genuine, compelling, real ways. But that's the point. That's the point. I'm able to manifest money. The secret to the sauce is this 3 steps: get clear, prepare, and share. And there's more to it. And I'll share them with you, the different strategies that I use in different daily direction audios. But hopefully this one, longer than most, but hopefully this one was a good one for you. Alrighty. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.